The part of Letty tonight will be played by Sarah.
Yes.
I'll pop in if I need to.
Alright, so, good news, it's still Dirty Harry.
Yep, yeah, they didn't change a thing.
No, new CGI put in for the 40-something anniversary.
43rd?
1971.
Yeah, 42nd.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just got out of they did a screening for, Dirty Harry, and how long's it been since you said you've seen it?
It's
a while,
been
right?
a good 10 years since I've seen this movie, and it's
Dirty Harry?
Yeah, it's it's one of those movies that I've probably seen scenes over the years on TV or something, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it in a good long time. And it's not for any dislike of the movie, it just never really occurs to me to sit down and watch it.
Today's a Dirty Harry day.
Yeah.
Today's a bullet day. Oh, they just got out of Freebirds. Does he look happy?
Oh, I bet.
No.
Oh, I heard a car engine start. He's leaving. I probably last watched Dirty Harry like a year ago, maybe. It was whenever we watched it. Whenever we watched like all 5 of them. Which, yeah, I think was like a year ago, something like that. I grew up watching it all the time with my dad. A lot of movies like this, the Eastwood movies, the John Wayne movies. I was always more partial to Clint Eastwood. And I used to have a tape of both this and Magnum Force taped off of TV that I'd watch all the time. Of the sequels, Magnum Force was probably the one that I watched the most, but I love all of them, really. I mean, there's some I like more than others, but I mean, it's totally my kind of movie.
Oh, yeah.
1970s, badass cop, crazy-ass fucking killer.
Yeah, and it's the kind of movie that I grew up watching too, mostly because I grew up with you. It's really, really fun. But the whole time I was sitting there going, man, I love this movie. This is so much fun. It's so good. It's so inconsistent.
Like how?
Well, just film goofs appear. Like, if we were saying that if this was a brand new movie and it wasn't Clint Eastwood and it wasn't fucking awesome, I would be picking this movie apart.
Are you talking just like continuity errors or something like that?
Yeah, and shit like that. And shit like that bothers me now in movies from that era. It doesn't really, to me, it's just like, that's charming.
Shit.
Bye. Baby? Okay? What the fuck?
I'll be back.
That's funny.
She's just like fucking
Screw you guys. I hated this movie. Bye. Yeah, I mean, there's certain stuff like the ADR work and stuff like that
horrible,
that I would probably have, and that's something that I honestly noticed a lot more seeing it on the big screen than times that I've watched it at home. At least it magnifies it a lot more. I noticed the same thing about The Shining, but I mean, you are kind of right in the sense that you're being more forgiving of a movie like this, a movie of that time, of the early 1970s. Whereas, when we saw Parker, and regardless of ADR work, Dirty Harry's a much greater fucking movie than Parker. But that was one of the things we talked about in Parker, was the
horrible ADR.
Yeah, it was the horrible ADR work. In this one, it's certainly noticeable, but I mean, I've seen the movie 100 times, so it didn't bother me. I didn't really pick up on many goofs beyond that, necessarily.
I think it got to the point with me with the movie where it was, I have seen it before, and I know everything that happens, even if I hadn't seen it in 10 years. So I was enjoying watching the movie again, but at the same time, it's just you've seen something once or twice, and it's where everything is going. Sometimes you just sit there and you notice the little stuff, and never seeing it on the big screen too. That does make a difference.
It was my first time seeing it on the big screen.
I'm just hearing very terrible from the car over there.
It turns out they fucking showed the Fifth Estate instead. The movie's not even fucking playing anymore. God fucking damn it. It's interesting to think about how controversial the movie was when it came out.
By today's standards, it's so mild, really.
By today's standards, certainly, and I think it's a good thing for it. But at the time, like, there were a lot of critics that were dismissing it as like pro-fascism propaganda. Like, even Ebert kind of said that, even though he liked it. What do you think about that? I don't really buy into that necessarily.
I think that's reading too much into it.
Yeah, I don't think that the movie was... regardless if someone thinks that about the movie, I don't think that was the intent of the film.
I don't think that was the intent at all. I mean, the character of Harry might be a little bit of a fascist, but I don't think it's intentional, and I don't think that's what they were trying to get across.
Well, I think that it's written well, though. I mean, we were talking about this outside a second ago. I think it's written well in that when Harry does stuff like breaking into the guy's apartment and the scene on the football field, it isn't because he's a fucking psychopath and just goes there and busts in the guy's place and shoots him. It's because there is a girl who's kidnapped. He thinks she only has an hour to live, and that's why he does that. And at the end of the movie, when he knows he's going to kill that busload of kids that Scorpio is, so he does that. Look, I totally get it. Honestly, I'd do the same goddamn fucking thing.
No, and I don't think the character's wrong at all. In fact, like, the scene where they're like, we can't try him for anything. I'm sitting there going, there's so many things they could try him for.
Scorpio?
Yeah. Assaulting a police officer, legal possession of an automatic firearm.
Yeah, like, I mean, he did take a shot at a cop.
Yeah,
he shot a cop. He shot Chico.
Yeah, he shot Chico.
Yeah.
He beat the fuck out of Harry. Like, regardless of, like, okay, you should read him his Miranda rights. Like, that's obvious. Right on.
Yeah.
But, even, like, searching without a warrant, he was an illegal squatter.
Is the groundskeeper, like, let him stay in the place? Yeah. I don't know what the law is on that now, let alone in San Francisco 1971.
But that seems like, okay, like, I get it. They explain it in a way that lets the story move forward.
Yeah,
at the same time, it's just like, there's no way in fuck they'd let that dude walk.
I never thought about it before, like, like, because everything they say in there makes sense, that they couldn't try him for some of those things, but that never really actually clicked with me. Like, he did shoot Chico.
Yeah.
He did attempt to murder 2 police officers. Yeah. That is true, but, whatever.
It moves the story along,
I can forgive it. I can forgive it for that. I love the movie too goddamn much. But, I mean, I think because of that, because that the movie got that response when it came out, I think that's partly why they made the second one like they did, because the second one was about him going after vigilante cops.
Yeah.
Cops who just pull a fucking guy over and point blank shoot him in the head, stuff like that. I think that, you had critics like Pauline Kael and shit who basically thought that's what Harry was doing in the first one, which is retarded, but...
No, I mean, he's a bit of a...
he's a hard-ass cop.
He's a hard-ass cop, and he's breaking some rules, but he's breaking rules with the best of intentions.
Yeah,
I mean...
Absolutely.
He's
I kind of want to see what went on between the end of the first one and the beginning of the second one, because somewhere along the way he changed his mind and wanted to become a cop again. Like, you know what? Maybe I do like this job.
Yeah.
Killing Scorpio felt good. I want to do the same thing to Hal Holbrook. I'm going to blow him up in his car. Then I'm going to throw a rapist on top of a unicorn. What was I going to say? Oh, you brought up the thing, too, about his gun at the end of it, that he actually did fire 6 shots.
Yeah, I was counting. I was trying to count, and I swear I counted 6. I could be wrong about this, so one of the fucking comments can go as crazy as they want, but I swear I counted. He fired 6 shots.
And my thing, too, is like, he probably could have reloaded.
Oh, there was plenty of time to reload. That is not a question about it. There's plenty of time to reload. That's not the question. The question is, did he actually fire 6 shots? And to a degree, I think he might have.
That's why Scorpio went for the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
He was counting too. He's like, hey, I heard him fire 6 shots. I'm gonna take this. I'll blow his brains out. God fucking damn it, I fucking love Andy Robinson in this movie. It's seriously one of my favorite villains of all time. The guy is just entertaining as hell.
Oh, he's entertaining, but there's moments where it's just kind of like...
I think there's Scorpio in the car over there. It was Callahan. He did it to me, the big man. My wife's brother did this. I hit her, so he hit me several times. Please, I scare easily. I am in awe of Andy Robinson in that fucking movie. It's fun to play a crazy bastard. He was having the time of his goddamn life.
And that's the thing, he's hamming it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which, as you said earlier and other things, he's a very good actor, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, dude, can you make this any fucking cheesier?
I love it. I think it totally works. And honestly, I think it's good for the movie that you have a cop like Harry doing the things that Harry's doing against a guy who is the bonkers face of fucking evil. He's a rapist, a child murderer.
A child rapist.
A child rapist.
He raped a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, there's something.
There's something we gotta bring up there.
There's something.
I forgot that they show a naked 14-year-old girl in this movie.
I
doubt the actress was not 14, but it's straight up supposed to be a naked 14-year-old girl.
The 70s, man. You can't do that shit today.
Dear God.
I'm guessing Carrie White didn't get naked in the remake of Carrie.
No.
Yeah, that's one of those.
No, she just went.
That's one of those scenes where I was kind of thinking the same thing, and the same thing. Like honestly, I usually do when that scene comes up. I'm like, you could not do that today in a mainstream movie.
Isn't that girl supposed to be 14? Oh, there's her bush.
70s bush, too, nonetheless.
Oh, my God.
A 15-year-old girl. Speaking of nudity, too, I love all the shots in the red light district as well. Like, fucking roaring 20s, pussy galore. That shit's fucking great, man.
Oh, man.
Hot Mary. Oh, we thought you were just looking in on Hot Mary and her boyfriend. Hot Mary was not that hot.
No, she wasn't.
Naked underneath a poncho.
Well, come on, who hasn't been naked underneath a poncho?
I have many times.
Same here, man.
It's comfortable. I totally get where Hot Mary's coming from. One thing I like too that kind of made me laugh a little bit was when it's showing that letter that Scorpio wrote at the beginning of the movie, and like the little mistakes that he made. He's crossing stuff out. Like the note says, like, I will kill these people, one person every day, unless you bring me $100,000, and you can see where he started to write with dollars before the thousands, so it looked like unless you bring me $100. Where does he think we're gonna get that kind of money?
No,
damn it, Harry, that's the mayor you're talking to.
That note was cracking me up because it was the first thing in the movie that I really noticed. That I was like, well, that's weird, because when they first show the note, it's like pinned to that antenna on top of the roof. It's all in cursive. And the next
I didn't notice that.
And the next scene, they show it all like fucking projected on a screen, and it's handwritten, and there's no fucking hole in it.
It could have been a copy.
It could have been, but then,
I didn't notice that. That's something you noticed, but
it's just
believe
one
it
of
or
those
not,
little minor goofs that I'm just like, fuck it.
Believe it or not, I mean, you'd think I would, given what I do. I honestly really don't look for things like that in movies. Way more people notice shit like that than I do.
But at the same time, sometimes with a movie you're just along for the fucking ride.
Yeah.
It don't fucking matter. Like this movie, in the long term of the quality of the movie, I don't think shit like that really matters.
Honestly, me neither. If it's distracting, then I think it matters. If it takes you out of the movie, then I think it matters. But by definition, by and large, overall, just as a thing in and of itself, I don't get my panties in a bunch about stuff like that. Because really, it's kind of like I said earlier, I don't typically notice a lot of it. Yeah. But the only time I ever get upset by something like that, whether we're talking about a continuity goof, whether we're talking about a plot hole, if it takes me out of the movie and distracts me, then I think it's a problem. By and large, as a definition, I think that there are plenty of movies that can get away with that just fine.
Oh, yeah.
If you're still, like you said, if you're still along for the ride, and it's still working for you as entertainment.
No, yeah, it's a fine line too sometimes, you know. Like with this, it's all very minor things, or it's, you know, with this movie, there's no real story errors or anything. It's just like minor prop shit, you know, like the fucking bottle of whiskey he hits the dude with. It's very obvious it's an empty bottle of whiskey. But
again, something I didn't really know.
But who gives a shit? He's hitting him in the head with a bottle of whiskey.
Luger.
To steal a
Hey, you're that guy who's been robbed like 14 times, right? I love him when those fucking kids on that bus, he just slaps the fat kid. Sing, damn it, sing. Row, row, row your boat. How would I get home to Mom? No, we're going to the ice cream factory. We're going to see how ice cream is made. I like it when he's telling the bus driver where to go, and at one point he just turns around and tells the kid to shut up again. Shut up! Obviously 80 yard.
Yeah.
Shut up! Do you ever see the movie where he played Liberace?
No, but now I want to.
It's honestly not bad. He actually looks a lot like him. Honestly, more so than Michael Douglas did. It was an 80s TV movie. Just a TV biopic from mid-late 80s, something like that. I think
Jake's singing over there.
Oh, is he singing his happy song again?
I think so.
Well, he was in Pumpkinhead 2.
Well, that's a fucking cinema classic right there.
He was the lead. When I first saw that piece of shit, when it first aired on like Cinemax or HBO, whatever fucking channel it was, I'm sitting there like, that's fucking Scorpio. Scorpio versus Pumpkinhead. I can get behind this. Oh man, this movie sucks. Boo. Well, I guess we should let them talk about Freebirds, which I checked earlier has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what? I kind of thought it might be. Who knows? Maybe they liked it. I haven't talked to them, but I kind of thought it looked like one of those that like might be so stupid it might be kind of fun, but maybe not.
Yeah, if he's singing and screaming already.
Yeah, then he needed to go to his happy place before the review even started. All right, we'll actually be back tomorrow.
Thor.
With Thor. I think that's the only thing that's playing tomorrow. I know that About Time also opens, but I don't think it's getting a pre-screening here. I don't know if it's coming to this theater. So, guess I'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Thor.
Thor. See ya.